What's happening, everybody? Welcome back. This is Forgo, and today I want to talk about Odin. And I want to ask you guys, do you think Odin's fallen off the meta a little bit? Because I kind of feel like he is. It doesn't mean that he isn't strong, he isn't monstrous. He's a very, very powerful character, especially for newer players that are just starting to fight Null. They don't have any Pierce on their account. He is insanely strong, especially if you have a CTP of Rage on this guy. But as many of you know, once you start getting more Pierce on your account, I currently have 13% Pierce, the rage just starts falling off a little bit, right? It starts falling off because you don't have that chain hit damage, which we know does synergize with Pierce. The more Pierce you have, chain hit damage is just going to allow you to do even more damage. They just work together so well. And what happens is some of these characters that have these rages, that use rages or are optimal with a rage, they start falling off a little bit, at least in World Boss. Now, Odin is still amazing for the dispatch missions. I mean, if you take him into the dispatch missions and you're using this guy here and you put White Fox in the leadership because of her debuff effect and because of his all defense down, it's just, and then you put in Ghost Rider who has the leadership, he gets the bonus from White Fox. You just have an insane team. That's how I actually went all the way to the top and was able to complete all the way down the bottom. I haven't done all the requirements, but I completed, and I actually completed with relative ease, and that's when I had just 4% Pierce, right? Odin's also really great for ABX, but a lot of people are just going to use Ghost Rider, right? I mean, I can get consistently higher scores with my Ghost Rider with a lesser build. Yeah, that's kind of the thing, and he isn't a native tier 2. So, and Odin, he doesn't get used in squad battle unless you're using him for the no restriction. The World Boss is really where he shines. I mean, you can use him in ABX, obviously. I mean, you can definitely use him for Universal Superhero Day. Many people do, and that's great. He's a super powerful character. But I really feel like he's kind of fallen down a little bit. I'm thinking about changing him on the tier list and actually put him down a little bit because now that I'm getting in higher stages against Null, actually, you know what? We'll just quickly run through the build. He has 53,000 energy attack. He has all max attack stats. Attack speed's pretty much maxed out. His Urus are all a 6-star. We do have some Odin's Blessings. We got 1, 2, 3. That's an HP Odin Blessing. Four Odin's Blessings on him. I mean, he's got a pretty good build. And the thing that's always made him strong is, the damage accumulation. Plus 1%. This is a really good damage accumulation based on how much damage you deal. And then, of course, the immunity. The fact that he has 100% ignore dodge. This is so important for Null because it means you don't need any ignore dodge strikers, you don't need ignore dodge leadership, nothing like that for Odin, which is another reason why he's so good, especially for earlier players, right, or moderate players who've been playing the game for a short time and they're just starting to fight Null or Mephisto. Oh, really, Null when it comes to ignore dodge. And then the fifth skill gives them this insane up to 65% all defense down, and with that 40% debuff effect from White Fox, I mean, this just goes through the roof. And plus the attack buffs by 30%. I mean, Odin's got a great kit. He's a terrific character. He's got the decrease all damage received by 30%. His tier 2 passive, immune to cancel effect, which is very, very powerful. His tier 3, gives him the invincibility. It gives the increased damage by 40% for one attack. I mean, he's got a lot of power. He's got the great leadership, even though he isn't a PvP meta. A lot of people were kind of hoping he would be, but he just never was. I mean, I do have a fully awakened Power by Angry Hawk set. I do have the Rage. I do have a Mythic uniform on him. I mean, like I said, I got him built up pretty well. I don't have all these uniforms at Mythic because I don't need to. My stats are already maxed out on this character. I just don't need them maxed out. Let me check something really quick here. Yeah, my dodge is maxed out. Okay. And the thing that I want to show you all today is, like, I was mentioning earlier about the chain hit damage and the CTP of energy. So here we have another character in, if I can find him here really quick, Cable. Now, Cable's been my guy that's actually been just going to the top as far as Null. He just does so much damage. And granted, I got a build kind of similar to Odin's. It's a pretty good build. But I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Odin's Blessings. So 2 more Odin's Blessings than Odin, right? They're both native tier 2s. And all of his skills are a 6. And he has a fully awakened Power by Angry Hawk set 2. But he does have a mighty CTP of energy. And this is, this is a leg up. The caveat to this thing is you always got to wait that 10 seconds to do the proc again. It was kind of a pain in the butt. That's something I don't like about this thing. But you do get extra Pierce having a mighty CTP of energy. But even if I didn't have this, I'm pretty sure Cable would still do better. His damage is just so good, especially since you can use a CTP of energy. You get that chain hit damage. And like I said, the more Pierce you get on your account, the more you notice the difference between using a CTP of energy and a rage. And the more you're going to think about, man, if I'm really trying to do well in World Boss, then characters that use CTPs of energy are just, generally going to be better. Not always, not always. Or the CTP of Judgment, right? That's why Mephisto's so good. You can use a rage on him, but if you use a CTP of Judgment, you still get that chain hit damage. And what I want to show you all is the difference here. So this is the highest stage I'm at right now, 22, and you can only use male superheroes. Another thing about this is you don't have any supports. We just got Taskmaster, which really helps you in the lower stages here. Like once you get to stage, see, male, once you get to stage 10, you only can use male. And then you go to 14, male, and then 15, human. So you can use Taskmaster all the way up until 19, right? And that's a big leap for a lot of players. But once you get to 20, you can only use male superheroes, which is a bum deal. It means you don't have any supports at all, because we have Mystique, we have Valkyrie, both are female, right? We have no male superheroes other than Ben Grimm. So again, like I've mentioned in other videos, Johnny really proves to be just that guy that you want to have. But I don't want to level up Ben Grimm just for one character. I want to have a support that actually can apply to multiple characters. I feel like then my investment's more worth it, right? But that's just me. But this is the best team, and actually Cyclops in the leadership is actually better for Odin, because Odin does get the 100% ignore dodge from his force skill. And what I'm going to show you guys, I'm going to show you just this team right here, and I'm going to show you the damage difference between Odin and Cable here. And we are going to use these strikers. I am going to use the healing. I know that Odin and Cable do have heals, and Odin has a decent heal, but when you start getting this high stage, at least on my account, the damage is absolutely insane from Null. And then we got just damage dealt to super villain strikers, because we don't need ignore dodge. Now, something to keep in mind is Cable here, he does have the CTP of energy, but we're not going to be using his leadership. So he's only going to have, around 40% ignore dodge. He's not going to have 100% ignore dodge. If we use his leadership, we'd have about 90% ignore dodge, which would be more than enough. It means Null won't be dodging the attacks. Now, let me show you this here. Okay, so I'm going to try that again because I failed miserably. So we got to try that again. The meteorites really do an insane amount of damage in this high level. It can be really, really difficult to keep characters alive. The other thing is, the rage isn't always very consistent. All right, here we go. And we don't want to get caught in that. We really want to try to avoid it. We'll just switch back in Odin when we get the chance. And we're just going to run around. And we'll do the same thing with Cable. Okay, here we go. And you see the damage that Odin's already taken. And, the damage just isn't the greatest. I mean, look at this damage, guys. Look at how much damage we're already taking. So we're just going to stop there, right? After 1 minute, we got down to a little bit below the 49th bar, right? A little bit below the 49th bar. Now, we're going to use the same team, and we're just going to use Cable. Hopefully, I can keep Cable alive, because that's really the difficult thing about playing with Cable. He's got a lot of power, but he truly is the definition of glass cannon. So a little bit below the 49th bar. And remember, we only got like 40% ignore dodge. And you can already see the difference here. There is a huge difference between their power levels. And that proc came way, way late. And I'm going to switch my character just like I did with Odin. But you can see we're already doing way, way more damage. And we don't even have the max ignore dodge, right? I always like to use Cable's tier 3 because it's in an iframe. It really, really protects them. Okay, we're running around, running around, running around, running around, running around. And you guys can tell that. So we're going to go ahead and pause it. So we're down to the 40-second bar, guys. We did 7 more bars versus Odin. And that's just in 1 minute. That's a huge, huge difference. I know I have a mighty CTP, but Null was dodging a lot of those attacks because we weren't even using our max ignore dodge. Think about that. That is crazy, right? Just out of curiosity. Just out of curiosity, right? We got down to the 40-second bar. Let's put him in the leadership. We're going to lose some attack, but we're going to have more max ignore dodge. But we are going to gain more from the damage dealt supervillains because Null is going to be dodging attacks, right? So let's see how much damage we do this time. And this is what I'm talking about with Odin. It's just like, you know, as you get in a higher stage or as you get more Pierce, you're just going to find that you're going to use Odin a lot less. Oh boy, oh boy. Okay, switch my character here. Seriously, man, if you stand in that meteor, oh my god, that meteor pile, you are freaking dead. There we go. And let's see here. Cable's got a heal, but it isn't a very good one. The other thing about Cable that kind of sucks is, you know, he does get caught by those vines whenever he's doing his fifth skill. That's why I like to use his tier 3 whenever it's ready, because then it goes into that iframe. Well, actually, we did more damage whenever we used Cyclops leadership. So, okay. There you go. But we still did more damage than what we did with Odin, right? We still did, you know, about 2 bars more damage. That wasn't really a good run. I did get interrupted there. But this is what I'm talking about. You know, it's like, I don't use Odin for anything anymore. You know, I've already cleared all the dispatch missions. I don't use them in ABX because I mainly use Ghost Rider. I just don't use them for World Boss anymore because, you know, as you get into those higher stages and as you get more Pierce, like I mentioned previously, you're going to find that other characters just seem to do better. I know I'm comparing them to Cable, but they're both native tier 2 characters. You know, one character is really optimized using a CTP of energy, and whereas the other one is more optimized using a rage. And it just shows how powerful having that extra chain hit damage really is. You know, I don't regret building Odin because he is an amazing character and he really did get a lot done for me. He was the first character that I used to get those first stage 10 clears. He was the first one that did all that for me. So in the lower stages, he did a lot better when I didn't have as much Pierce on my account. So he's still super, super relevant and very, very good for a lot of players. But I think for a lot of veteran players and players that are pushing the World Boss Legends, he becomes less relevant. They're just not going to use him as much. But I just wanted to give you guys my thoughts on Odin and kind of where he's at in the game for me. I do believe I'm probably going to drop him down a notch on the tier list because, you know, for a lot of players, I just don't think they're going to be using him as much as they used to. So let me know how you're all feeling about Odin. And I do stream on Twitch at Reset. The link will be in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See ya.